Hey everybody, it's the Burger Dude, and today I want to show you my spin on a shrimp po' boy, but vegan of course. Now in case you don't know, the po' boy hails from Louisiana and it's typically served with some kind of meat like roast beef, fish, or shrimp, topped with lettuce, tomato, and then dressed up with mayo and hot sauce. Obviously you can make it however you want, so today I'll be amping up the mayo by throwing together my take on a remoulade, which is so good you can eat it like soup. Now, if you're asking what the heck is vegan shrimp, well, here you go. I got this stuff from All Vegetarian and it's super good. The texture is pretty spot on. It doesn't taste exactly how I remember shrimp, but I still totally dig them. Check out the description for more info on these and other vegan shrimp products. And if you don't want to go the shrimp route, you can also use some hearts of palm and fry them up. I've seen this done before and it looks like it works out perfectly. You can also just cook up some vegan chicken nuggets. This would be the easy and quick way. In fact, I've made them like this before, and you can prepare the remoulade and everything else in the time it takes to air fry your nuggets. So if making the shrimp seems like too much work, this is a great, quick, and easy alternative. Speaking of the remoulade, let's get that going. We're going to start off with half a cup of vegan mayo, though I add about another quarter cup more later. Next is some Dijon mustard, but if you have Creole mustard, even better, but Dijon will do the trick, so just use that if that's what you got. Next, we want to get a tablespoon of pickle brine straight from the jar. I prefer dill, but use whatever you like. And now some hot sauce. Try to use something from Louisiana. I like Crystal. I always want to call it Cristal, but you can use something like Frank's or Tabasco if you like. Whatever you have on hand should work. After that, we're going to add in some horseradish. Just make sure it's not the creamy horseradish stuff, as it's typically not vegan. We're just going to do a teaspoon of that. For the Cajun seasoning, I'm using this stuff by Slap Ya Mama, and it's worth noting that not all Cajun seasoning is the same. Some are saltier than others or spicier, so it behooves us to just add in a bit at a time and taste and adjust as we go. You can also make your own Cajun seasoning. There's tons of recipes online, so go ahead and do that if you prefer, but I'm starting with about a teaspoon of this stuff, and I found that that was plenty. And then lastly, 2 cloves of minced garlic. Mix it up and give it a taste, and for mine, I decided I was going to add in some cayenne. It wasn't quite spicy enough. And then a little lemon juice just to make it a little bit zippier. I also added in another quarter cup of mayo to cut the saltiness and to thicken it up. And give that a taste, and if you're happy with it, cover it and put it in the fridge. Now, let's prep our vegan shrimp for frying. First, we're going to dump them out onto a paper towel lined plate and then dry them off to the best of your ability. I do recommend letting these thaw overnight in the fridge as well. Next, we want to put together our vegan buttermilk marinade. So let's start with some plant milk, make sure it's unsweetened, then some apple cider vinegar, followed by more of that pickle brine, as well as that Crystal hot sauce. Then we're going to whisk that up, and let's add in our vegan shrimp. Make sure they get all nice and coated, and let them take a bath while we get everything else ready. So for our dry batter, we're going to start with some flour, and then some cornstarch, followed by some cornmeal, and then some baking powder. And then we're going to do a little bit more of that Cajun seasoning. I'm also going to add in a little bit of cayenne because I want these to be spicy. And whisk that up, and now let's get our oil ready for frying. I recommend one of these thermometers, and also I haven't mentioned this before, but save your oil. I typically use it 3 to 4 times before I need to toss it. And as always, I recommend an oil with a high smoke point like peanut, vegetable, or canola. Get that up to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and while our oil heats up, let's talk about bread. So apparently the actual bread they use in Louisiana doesn't travel well. You can make your own or go to the store like me. You want to find a French bread, but try to get one that's not super crunchy on the outside. You want it to be a bit softer than a baguette. Something like this works, but whatever you can find should be good. You can also use this time to chop up some lettuce and slice your tomatoes. We're also going to toast our bread. I tried initially to cut my bread to keep a hinge, but as you'll see later, that didn't work out as it had had enough and became unhinged. But that's okay. We're going to hit it with some vegan butter and then toast it in a pan. Try to time it out so it's ready about the same time your shrimps are all fried up. And once your oil is about up to temperature, take all your shrimp, shake off the excess marinade, and then dump them into the dry batter. Really get in there and make sure you get them all nice and coated. Toss them around. You can really get rough with them. And I initially, I just did a single dredge because this was the first time I've made these. I wasn't totally sure. And as you'll see here, they came out not totally coated. And maybe you like this, but I've had shrimp like this and it's fine. Personally, I want that crunchy breading. So I went ahead and double dredged them. I know you can't see me dipping them in the wet batter, but that's what I did. And then coated them again in the dry batter, and that resulted in some beautiful golden brown crunchy shrimp. I mean, look at those guys, totally perfect. Let them rest on a wire rack. You do want to fry these in batches so you don't overcrowd the pot. And then once all your shrimp are fried up, it's time to eat. So get your toasted roll, slather on plenty of that remoulade, get some drippy drips if you like. And then next, let's pile up some of that lettuce and then a few slices of tomatoes. And next, the star of the show, our fried vegan shrimp. And I'm not sure if 4 shrimp is acceptable, but the sandwich was so filling, I don't think it matters. And then, of course, if you're an animal like me, add some more remoulade, not only on top of your shrimp, but I'm also going to liberally spread it on the other roll as well. Add it on top, and then in an attempt to keep the sandwich from tipping over, smash it down with your hand. And then if you want, cut it in half if you like, and then slowly and dramatically lift it up to your mug and take one of the most glorious bites of your life. I mean, everything works so well together. You got the crunchy seasoned shrimp, that remoulade, which is just a ridiculous taste explosion when paired together. The bread and the lettuce and tomatoes, like a good drummer and bassist, are holding everything together. And seriously, make this po' boy. Definitely make the remoulade at the very least and just take a bath in it if you want. Either way, I really do hope you all make this recipe. And if you do, let me know how it goes. Tag me in your photos on Instagram. I love to see it. Hope you're all doing great, and I'll see you next time.